sports watch. It's been made specifically for sports enthusiasts. So yeah, in terms of sports, it has 19 sports modes. It includes outdoor swimming, open water for the ocean, treadmills, indoors, elliptical, rower, climbing, trail run. It has a triathlon mode. It has ski, tennis, soccer. So yeah, it has a lot of sports modes that you can choose from. It also comes with the Firstbeat technology. So we have a partnership with Firstbeat, and they help us with the software to better help users improve their skills and train with more insights on their own performance.
So it's got some efficient algorithms in analyzing all this stuff.
Yes, the Firstbeat algorithm, it analyzes your performance. It tells you how much was your VO2 max, how much you should rest until your next performance. Yeah, how much was the intensity of your training, if next time you should train in a more intense way. So it gives you several insights for you to train better.
And it's got this amazing display. Maybe we can hold it just right over here.
Mm-hmm.
It's really perfect to use outdoors. It's always on display with very, very long battery life, right? How long can it go?
Yeah, the battery lasts for 7 days in the smart mode. Which we call it just the normal mode, where you have the 4 GPS, you have the 19 sports and all, and then we have power saving mode. We call it the ultra endurance mode, where it can last up to 14 days, where you still keep most of the features, but some features are reduced, so you can have it for longer battery time. Yeah,
So you can switch between the different modes if you have different, and also different watch faces?
Yeah, these are the different watch faces. We have a lot of watch faces also in the app. You can do it from there.
All right. And the different watch faces sometimes have more or less kind of stuff displayed. For example, this one might have a few more things going on.
Yeah, they have different information. Some of them have you know, display more information. Some of them are more minimalistic. So it depends on the style. It depends on what you're doing. If you're doing sports, maybe you want to have all the information available at the first sight. If you are maybe going out, you want to have something more elegant, more minimalistic.
And what happens when you swipe down there?
When you swipe down here, you can change the brightness. You can go to settings. This is the ultra endurance mode. Yeah, so here you can activate the ultra mode. You can also have the night mode and the airplane. Yeah, so when you swipe up, you go to your health stats. So how many steps you've given, how many calories and floors. When you slide to the left, you'll see the notifications. And when you slide to the right,
You can select the notifications, read the whole thing, and you can swipe them away.
Yeah, you can swipe them away or read them. And then when you swipe right, then you will go to the full menu where you can see the rest of the...
So you have a nice
features.
sleep tracking going on with this also?
Yeah, it has the sleep tracking, it has compass, it has a barometer, it has four different GPS combinations. For a better tracking of your routes, and then all the other, you have timer, stopwatch. You can control the music. You also have some storage inside the watch, so you can put the music inside the watch. So when you go out for a run, if you're wearing your Bluetooth headsets, you can just go with your watch and your headset, and you don't need the smartwatch to play the music.
So the always on display, you call it transflective, right?
Yes, it's transflective because it's perfect for outdoors. So the brighter the sun, the more
better.
clear, yeah,
Without
the
having
screen
to,
is.
I mean, you can also raise it, what's it called, to turn on the backlight so it becomes brighter, or when you click the...
Yeah, you can do it either way, by raising or with the buttons. We added 4 buttons into this watch since it's specifically for sports. Sometimes, you know, when you are out to sports, it's difficult to manipulate the screen. Maybe you're sweating. So yeah, with the 4 buttons, it's easier for athletes to manipulate their watch.
What's happening under here?
Well, this is the PPG sensor. So this is the sensor that tracks the heart rate when you sleep, when you're running. You can also have it like 24-hour heart rate, and this is for the battery, for the charging.
When you do 24-hour heart rate, does that mean it takes it constantly, or it takes it every minute, or?
It will take it constantly. Yeah,
So
it will take it constantly.
You see the graph
Yeah,
of the heart rate the whole day.
Correct. You can monitor your heart rate constantly. Let me show you.
How's the battery life when you do this?
Well, if you use it constantly, of course, the battery life is gonna decrease. In the lab test, when we tested, we use it only several times like that, and it can last 7 days in the smart mode and 14 in the ultra mode. But of course, it depends on how much you use the entire set of features that we have.
And the GPS is also something where you can set how much it does it, like is it periodical, or if it does it constantly?
Yeah. The GPS, you can also go. You can also go for 70-hour continuous GPS. So with the ultra mode, you can track. So if you're going for long routes, usually people that go hiking for very long routes, they can track with the ultra mode for up to 70 hours with a continuous GPS.
And specs are pretty good. Like, this is a really good, decent smartwatch battery. So it's for people who really want. It's the most advanced kind of sports smartwatch, no?
Yes, for us it's the most advanced sports watch that we have, which is definitely one of our key sections of smartwatches.
So when you have the list of all the sports, you have them in here.
Yes.
And you have some really hardcore things, right? So people who want to hike in a huge mountain, or they want to, where is it? They can just take their smartwatch, for example, on the hike, and they can hike on a mountain and no need to bring the smartphone. It will track the whole time.
Correct. When you put it in the ultra mode, it can track up to 70 hours of the GPS. So it will, you can have your long route. Also for rowing, if you go rowing for several hours in a big lake, you can also.
You don't like to bring your smartphone when you go rowing.
Exactly. So you can have
climbing.
You have climbing. You have triathlon. You have ski, tennis, football.
Yeah, it's not good to bring smartphones for all these things because it weighs you down. You want to do everything just with a smartwatch.
Exactly, and the fact that that you have your music inside the watch also makes it easier for you to just detach from the phone, and you can go directly with your watch.
There's no chance that maybe it could be smart and understand what sport you're doing without you having to select it? That'd be cool, no?
It does detect, for example, when you are walking in a fast pace, or if you start kind of running, it will say like, oh, you're running. Is there any sport you want to turn on, activate, or do you want to activate? It tells you directly, do you want to activate running mode? So it does track when you are walking faster.
Well, what does it do to change different modes for all these different things? Why is it so important to select that you're running when you're running and not just, what does it track differently?
Well, there are some things that are tracked equally, like your heart rate or the time or the distance or the pace, but there are things that are tracked differently. So for example, when you swim, it will track your laps, so how many laps you did, how much time you took in one lap, in the other lap, so which one was the fastest lap, the slowest lap. When you go play tennis, it will tell you how many backhands you did, how many forehands you did, how many serves. So there are different things that the watch measures according to the sport that you select.
Can you track the score in a tennis match by just saying my point, your point, my point, your point?
No, for now this is not available. What it does is that it will tell you how many backhands, forehands, and serves.
Nice.
Apart from all the other things like the distance, the speed, the heart rate, the VO2 max, the intensity of your sport, how much you have to rest, yeah, all these.
Because it'd be cool if there was one of the players that was kind of sending the live score of the tennis match while they're live streaming the match on YouTube, and people are watching all over the world, and they could use their smartwatch to send a score.
Yeah, it's of course interesting, but I think also for most sports, when you're doing sports, athletes like to be fully focused on what they're doing at that moment. So it might be, maybe some people will use it, but I would guess that for the most serious athletes will be completely focused on what they're doing, and they wouldn't be, like typing other things.
So waterproofiness is pretty good. You can definitely swim.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely swim. You can swim also in open waters, in the ocean, in a lake. So yeah, this watch has 5 ATM. So yeah, it can resist up to 50-meter pressure, water pressure.
So you can even dive.
It's
not recommended.
It's not recommended. It's kind of tricky because we have the international standards of 5 ATM, but for diving it's not recommended. Yeah.
You can snorkel.
You can snorkel for sure. Yes, no problem. But it's important that every person checks specifically what are the standards and the features for a 5 ATM. So. You can swim in an open water, but for how long you keep it under certain water pressure, I think it's important to be fully aware of what 5 ATM means.
And so there's a music player going on here. What does that do?
Yeah, so with the music player, you can control the music of your watch, of your phone. So when you have music in your phone storage that you're playing, you can control it from your watch. You can change, the songs, the tracks. Yes.
You can even store some music on here.
Yes, the watch also has like 2 gigabytes. Let me double check. It has 2 gigabytes of music storage.
So you can put some bunch of MP3s right there. So you can go running without your phone and listen to it using Bluetooth headphones.
Exactly. That's the whole point. That you can go running with your Bluetooth headphones and you don't need to take your phone.
But for services like Google Music, Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, and all that, that's maybe not quite. It's more like the music player that you have.
Exactly.
With the local files that are on the phone, right?
That are on the phone. Yes, we don't. The Stratos 3 right now doesn't have the Spotify, but maybe in the future we will have it and we will update it to all our products.
So you do lots of firmware updates for this watch. There's some software updates coming sometimes. People can update it through the phone, through the app that you have, maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
And here there's so for example, those notifications that are coming through from the phone, you can read them. What can you do more? Is there any chance that you might reply or do something, or is just read them?
It's just to read. Right now from the phone, from the watch, you cannot reply. So it's just to read them, and then
every notification from every app just shows up, like the ones that you can set.
Yeah, you can in the app, in the app, you can set for which apps you want to get the notifications, for which ones you don't want.
So this is the company named Xiaomi. Is it part of Xiaomi?
No, we are different companies, separate. We're partners. We have worked together, and we will for sure continue to work together. But we are separate companies. We have our own brand, which is Amazfit, and we have our own,
Because Xiaomi is pretty big in China, but many other countries also. And you kind of using through it's an app called Mi Fit.
Yes, yes. So again, we're partners, but in the end, we're separate companies.
All right. So how about the availability of this one? Some countries have it already, right?
Yeah, in some countries it's already available. In Europe, it's available in Spain, in Italy, in UK. In some others, it's still waiting to be available. The price is around 200 euros, but it varies. It varies from country to country and from different distributors. But yeah, that's.
So 200 euros, you get a bunch more features and way more battery life than like an Apple Watch or something, for sure.
For sure, yes.
You get you don't need to worry so much about charging. The Apple Watch is every night or every couple days, but this one, 2 weeks if you want, or 1 week.
Yeah, if you have it in the smart mode, you can have it 1 week. If you have it in the ultra mode, you can have it 2 weeks.
And the display is pretty much always on, but also with the backlight to see it nicely in the dark at night.
Yes, and it has also these 4 buttons, make it easy to manipulate when you're out running or doing a triathlon.